Hey, the train virus is from the video
the T
game.
virus. T is for train.
Is it really?
No.
All right.
That's the big reveal in the final chapter.
You're all going to die down there.
Deployment at T-minus 57 seconds.
Oh, you won't have to wait that long, boys.
Every damn frame.
My name is Alice. I work for the Umbrella Corporation in a secret laboratory developing experimental viral weaponry. Everybody died. Trouble was, they didn't stay dead.
You are going to be in for the fight of your lives.
Good thing we like a challenge.
We did it.
This is
Congratulations, everybody.
This is a podcast where we watch every damn frame of a movie series, of a franchise. We start at the beginning and we go through the whole thing, even when some of them are bad, even when some of them are different or seem unrelated, and we watch the whole damn thing.
So I think it's important to note at the start that we made some rules for the show and what is eligible and what we are required to do. I also know those rules are not sufficient, and we will discover that probably before the end of this first series. What are the rules of every damn frame, guys?
The series has to have at least 7 entries.
Yes.
Wisely set, because some things we didn't want to watch have 6.
That's true. That's true. What's going to get us into trouble is, I will let everyone know right now, there are some things that we were pretty sure are ineligible that are going to turn out to be eligible.
Or may in fact become eligible at some point during the show as well.
Yes, this is also true.
Also true. I think we decided that straight to DVD or straight to video, straight to streaming sequels count.
We did.
But only feature films.
I mean, I feel like maybe before we get this deep into the rules of the podcast, we might introduce ourselves. I encompass all of Liz.
But who are you, Liz?
Who am I? That's a really good question. I'm a human being. I live in Los Angeles. I have a cat. I am a professional writer and editor about television and film. And I went to college at USC, where I met these two goobers.
Hi, everybody. I am the sum and totality of Jesse, and I am a writer and a game designer, and I guess I'm a podcaster again. So here we are. I'm a man in my mid-40s, and so this is what we do.
You it's like this. It's podcasting, or what's the other thing you could be doing in your mid-40s?
For Ferraris?
I design video games for a living, and I teach video games for a living. So I feel like I'm perpetually sort of already there on that one.
Fair enough. How about you, Asa? What's going on there?
I am the great big bear hug of Asa. I am a producer and various other things, mostly of cartoons these days. And I like to watch too many movies.
Welcome to series 1.
Yes.
Of this show. I've decided to run this like a British sort of show. Like, this is series 1, because we're going to run through a franchise here from start to finish. And we had several heavy contenders for the first one.
We were discussing, before I rudely decided that we should introduce ourselves, we were talking about the rules for this podcast. And we want something that has at least 7 entries, something that has, I don't think this was an implicit part of it, but I think part of what led to the decision was it has like a varying level of quality that will be fascinating to track. And, it also, I think, happens to be a personal favorite of at least one person at this table. And so, yeah, I think choosing Resident Evil was the easy choice.
Yeah, I think it's great to start with, especially because since you're listening and this is episode 1 of series 1, the one of the things that we talked about that we thought was really important was that there's a little bit of business talk in this, like the business of the entertainment industry. Not just this is a series of movies, but this is a franchise. What does a franchise mean? A franchise has to make sense, obviously. It has to keep making money, or it has to keep drawing in, or it has to keep justifying its existence. But when these things span a decade or more, when in order to have the number of entries that is required to be eligible for the show, stuff changes in perhaps ways that no one who started this thing actually intended. And so I think it's sort of fascinating as a cultural artifact.
And from a story perspective, some of these things that we are going to do have a very strong through line, and some of them, oh boy, do they just change with the wind and forget that several entries happen. So sometimes when you watch them all in a row, it becomes real clear what people were paying attention to and what they weren't.
I'm really glad we're starting with Resident Evil. I think it's going to hit exactly the right level.
Yep. So to give us a little baseline here, as I said, I like to watch a whole series. This is a series that I watched all at once in one day.
At what point? How many movies were there at that time?
So, 6.
Okay.
So this series qualifies because there is a Resident Evil movie coming out this year.
Yes.
Which we will see in the theater and immediately record to complete the set. So when you are listening to this, you are hearing it in the lead up to that, and then we will drop that episode as quickly as humanly possible. That will complete the set. When the 6th Resident Evil movie, the final chapter, love a final chapter that's never the final chapter, was coming out, I watched, no one else. People came and went. Several people, I think, watched at least 4 of these. I'm the only person that made it all the way through. I watched in one day all 6 of these movies. I felt insane.
You're all going to die down here.
I have sort of described my association with this franchise, and I will clarify too that I purely this is actually a video game franchise. We haven't really mentioned that. These movies are based on, or maybe just inspired by, a very successful series of video games. I have no association with the video games. I think I have seen a little bit of them played. I maybe picked up a controller and played a bit here or there, but I'm a Silent Hill guy. I don't know. I know the movies. I'm deep in the movies, but not the video games. That is my association with Resident Evil. Liz, what is your association with this franchise?
Zero familiarity with video games. This most recent viewing was not the first time I've seen Resident Evil, but it was the first time I saw it must have been a while back. And I've also seen Resident Evil 2, the next film. But the only reason I've seen it is because about a year and a half ago, I was working on a list of the worst video game movie adaptations of all time. And I reached out to Asa and I said, Asa, tell me what's the worst Resident Evil movie, because I want to consider a Resident Evil movie for this list, and I don't want to watch all of them. So I just tell me the worst one. And you told me the second one, and yeah, I did not think it was very good.
That's next time, guys. That's next time.
Yes, not to spoiler alert for the next one, but yes, that's my association. Jesse,
since I'm the game person here, this is going to tarnish my cred just slightly. I fucking hate these games. I don't like to even think about them. In spite of how many zombie movies I've actually seen with the pair of you, and I was like sitting next to Liz at a zombie movie last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But,
we did do that.
I don't like them very much. I don't like zombies. There's not what I choose to do with my free time. So I knew about the games, but I had not really played them until this show. And I will say that I did my homework, and I have actually played through like a good part of about 3 of those games now.
Wow.
Yeah, dedication, guys. When I podcast.
You do podcast.
I went real hard on it. So I'm familiar with it now. And let me tell you, as a person who had seen the first movie in the theaters, I think it probably actually got on my radar because of the soundtrack. I went and I saw the movie, and I did enjoy it. And I think I saw every single one of these in the theater. It became kind of a weird ritual, like at various different points in your life, you check in on it. So I have seen them all. And I think right around the 4th or 5th one was when Asa and I were like, are these movies the last good serial dramas Hollywood has produced?
I think that was before Fast and the Furious
yeah.
took that crown and
Yeah.
then drove over that crown and then backed up and then picked up the crown and stole it
I mean,
out of the Burj Dubai. Okay.
so we've done the first question, which is what is your association with franchise? Question 2, how much of it have you seen? I feel like we've all just kind of covered it pretty well.
Yes, we have. So Asa has seen them all, and actually all in one day. I have never done it all in one day, but I have seen the first 4 more than once, and I have seen 5 and 6 once.
Yes. And I have seen this one, the first one more than once, and the second one exactly once. And we'll be doing it again.
And how much do you want to see that movie and all the subsequent movies? Every damn frame of all of those movies.
Candidly, I do kind of really like this movie. Like, I think this movie's fun in a lot of ways. It has elements that I just really appreciate. Based on this movie, if you tell me there's a new Resident Evil movie coming out, I'm like, yeah, sounds good. And I mean, I'm not a huge zombie movie fan. My favorite zombie movie is Warm Bodies, which I think says a lot. But, you know, I do find it a really interesting genre just because of the ways it's used for moral storytelling.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
Jesse, you also described this as a zombie franchise, and kinda, but the zombies are the table stakes, and then you get on to monsters. Definitely.
Yeah. No, I would say that, you know, again, Liz's experience, which is fun for the show, only goes a little ways in.
Is that true in the video games too, though? You get to the, like, my sort of like distance experience of the video games is that it's pretty quickly about these giant monsters with their brains sticking out and claws and tubes and things, and not so much the zombies.
Yeah, so the Resident Evil video game series flirts with lots of different monsters at various points. By the 6th or 7th game, there are almost no zombies, but there's, I don't know, like Voodoo Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And then it pivots. It makes a hard pivot to busty vampires that the internet wants to step on them. So, it runs the gamut. The video game series originates in Japan and is actually titled Biohazard in Japan. It's a little broader.
Well, that brings up another question I have, which is, why is this called Resident Evil? What? That sounds like it should be like a haunted house. And they are in a house.
Uh-huh.
Briefly, there is a house in the movie, but
I have never given this any thought, but it is genuinely a fascinating question. Is there an answer, Jesse?
I mean, Biohazard makes more sense.
Biohazard makes way more sense.
Yes, it sure does. I mean, look, like, video games have a long history of taking a thing that makes a lot of sense in Japan and then making it make less sense in America. Mario is Jumpman. You really need to understand that, like, video game marketing, especially in the 90s, is the most bananas bullshit you have ever seen. Like, we've all forgotten, I think. Like, if you can think about, like, the most 90s thing that you can possibly think of in this exact moment, and then just know that, no, there's a more 90s thing, and it's what we used to do to advertise video games.
Okay, but you also just told us that eventually this game series gets to busty vampires that you want to step on you. So I don't feel like the bananas element, like, went down.
It's different. It's different. It's
more in the game and not just the marketing.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to show you a video game commercial here once we get into this, because it's relevant.
Okay, so real quick, how much do you want to see every damn frame of this movie series?
Actually, quite a bit. I was thinking about it a lot recently, and I don't remember 6 hardly at all. I remember a motorcycle, and that's about it. Like, I don't remember what happens. I don't know how they resolve it. 5 and 6 change places in my brain sometimes. So I'm actually kind of interested in seeing how it finishes out. I remember when they ran the trailer for 6, and I was like, oh, wow, they're decided to finish something. Like, I really sort of figured that it was just going to peter out, and like that they were going for an ending, I think is great.
I've only seen 6 the once. The other ones I've seen multiple times, and I am excited to see them. I'm excited to see them again, and I think maybe to watch them all in order with a couple days or weeks of separation where my brain might fully process the things that I'm seeing. Yeah. Although I'll tell you at the end which experience felt truer to the franchise.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this was studio note driven, that they like the core elements of the Resident Evil franchise are clearly here, but there is that graft of the zombie narrative, and it feels almost like almost like adding a little comfort level for any suits who are like, what's with all these weird monsters in this video game? Can't they just be zombies? We can sell zombies. Zombies are easy.
I know this is not a video game podcast, but I'm just curious. Was it just the zombie thing, or what is it about the games that turned you off? Is it?
Oh, no, we can talk about it. So the Resident Evil video games are survival horror, which is in stark contrast to the movies that we're going to talk about. There are limited weapons and limited ammunition.
Oh, yeah,
available.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem for Alice, even a tiny little bit.
So you are routinely like running into these situations where there are like 10 zombies and you have 6 bullets, and each one of those zombies will occasionally get back up after you definitely put them down. So there's like an awful lot of like, oh dang, oh dang, oh dang, oh dang. And that, I don't know, my own personal life is such that I don't need that to be my escapism or my fantasy personally. Like it doesn't feel good. It feels like the rest of life. I prefer the other games where, yeah, there's lots of ammunition lying around and like power fantasies, not like powerless fantasies.
Got it.
So I think we're ready to move on to the film's vital information.
Yeah. So 2002 is the year. It is March 15th. And the Resident Evil movie gets directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Not to be confused with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
But both delightful directors in their own very specific ways.
It stars. Oh, no. I don't want to do that yet. Okay. Here's a quiz because I have watched the commentary track and I was wrong about this. And so I'm going to say this. The lead actress's name, pronounce it.
Oh,
shoot.
I mean, before you asked it in this exact fashion, I would have said Milla Jovovich, but I am sure that's wrong.
I'm going to go with Milla Jovovich.
It is
Jovovich?
It's Jovovich. Oh,
yeah!
Sorry, that was too loud. I clicked in the microphone. It is Jovovich.
Jovovich.
And the reason I yelled it is because in the commentary track, Michelle Rodriguez, who is next build, gets it wrong so many times.
Milla Jovovich, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Jovovich. Jovovich, how difficult is it, for God's sakes? We made a movie together.
That's delightful. That's very delightful. Now we now know how to pronounce Milla Jovovich's name.
Jovovich.
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 Not Yo-Yovich.
Okay, what am I?
Jovovich.
Jovovich. All right. I can now hold my head up high.
Yes, no, facts.
Yeah.
So now we all learned something. We all grew as people today. I didn't know that either. I've been saying Jovovich for a really long time too. So,
And who's third build?
I think Eric Mabius is third build.
Yes.
And this guy, what I learned when I IMDb'd this movie before I watched it is that he is now in so many Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yep.
He is like a Hallmark Christmas movie king.
What?
Yeah.
That's got to be weird.
He's a clean cut, good looking man with a nice jawline. With those things, you can go far in this world.
Speaking of which, James Purefoy is in this movie.
Yeah.
Looking very handsome during that period. I definitely had that moment where I was like, is that the Black Prince from Knight's Tale?
Yeah, it is.
He's so skinny.
I know.
He doesn't have to wear a big suit of armor now in this.
True.
I did interview him once for this show he did called Hap and Leonard on, I think Sundance or AMC. And I just remember the one thing I really remember from that interview was him being really intimidated to work with Christina Hendricks from Mad Men, who was also on that show. And he was like, "You seen that woman? She's like a Ferrari."
He was in a movie with Milla Jovovich.
Yeah.
We've got Martin Cruz on the cast list after that. And Colin Salmon, who is a British actor I really like, who's very funny on the first season of Master of None.
Oh.
He plays like a famous movie star, and he has the weirdest scenes. It's wonderfully esoteric. It's very funny.
I was rewatching this movie and I was struck by the same thing that I'm always struck by, which is he has such a wonderful voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has an amazing voice.
And I was like, how come I have not heard you?
Does he do voice acting?
Things?
I mean, he's very British, But I do wonder.
Do you think that disqualifies him?
No, I mean, it's just more like I think he works a lot in Britain versus the U.S.
Historically, Americans hate a British accent.
I mean, it's true. It's true. It's disgusting and dirty. It reminds us of tea.
Let's talk business for a second. So,
Yes.
In the commentary track, Paul W.S. Anderson mumbles it when they ask him point blank how much this movie cost.
Yeah, 33 is the number that I've seen, which in 2025 dollars is 60 million for comparison. It opened. Do we want to do the whole thing, or do we want to?
Let's do it.
Yeah. It opened to almost 18 million in the U.S., which is solid, and topped out domestically at 40 million U.S., which on a 33 million budget in 2002 is not great. But look, the total worldwide gross was $102 million. If you want some comparisons to 2025, the budget in 2025 dollars about 60 million, the U.S. opening about 30, the total domestic 73 million, and the total worldwide gross 186 million. Some comps from the past year that are in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Black Phone 2, 77 million domestic gross. 28 years later, 70 million. Predator Badlands, 91 million. So in the ballpark of those. But I think what you see here, where the domestic gross is a little underwhelming, and then the total worldwide gross is clearly why we have a Resident Evil 2, is a phenomenon you will see repeat throughout the series.
I'm trying to remember, and I didn't do research on this ahead of time, so this is just me talking off my off the cuff. This is the beginning of that, right? Like right around then is the beginning of but the global number, snatches this thing from ruin, and all of a sudden,
the Meg made an extra 200 million in China, so I guess we're making a Meg 2. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because 2002 was like wild times for that. Fun history, real quick. So they've been trying to make a Resident Evil movie for a while. Many directors, many scripts, and they land very briefly to the point about the zombie of it all on George Romero as a director for the Resident Evil movie. And he wrote a script. You can find it online. It's fine. He directs a commercial for Resident Evil 2, the video game. I want you to watch it. This is part of the every damn frame of it all. It's a 90s television commercial. Yes.
Before we even get a single frame further, the very first shot of it is a close-up on the sign for the police station for Raccoon City, which just says Raccoon Police. which is...
Yeah.
Like it's in Zootopia.
Yeah. Raccoon Police Department.
No, but it just says Raccoon Police.
I mean, I did notice.
This is all right. So, by the way, this is a commercial for Japan.
Oh, and it's got a director credit right up in there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you're going to pay for George Romero, pay for George Romero.
Well,
pay for the Raccoon Police.
Watch for the rest of this.
Those are children.
I gotta say, this does not look like it was directed by George Romero.
Biohazard.
All right.
Yeah. That is, I mean, it feels like a pretty convincing trailer for a video game. I mean, but yeah, I think what Ace has said, that was weird.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough to get serious conversation started about George Romero directing a Hollywood Resident Evil movie.
No, absolutely.
They kept the little red dress.
I have so many.
We'll talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we all have notes.
Yes.
So they talks with George Romero to make the movie. What happens? But that doesn't clearly happen.
No, it doesn't. Lots of things don't happen. Around the same time, lots of things don't happen. The history of Hollywood. Around the same time, Paul Anderson has just directed Mortal Kombat, a movie based on a video game that also doesn't seem like at the time it's going to do very well. And then
how many Mortal Kombat movies are there? There's about to be another one.
Yes.
That will be the 4th. Video game movies used to be a really bad idea in terms of like adapt a video game to make a movie. Like it almost always goes very, very badly. It's a very weird thing to say in 2026 when a Super Mario Brothers movie is going to be one of the big box office movies this year.
I mean, if this podcast runs long enough, we'll get to do Super Mario, and then we'll get to start with that insane Bob Hoskins movie, and then fast forward like 30 years to Chris Pratt, which is going to be such a wild jump.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that Paul Anderson is at this point probably the only successful director of a video game movie in Mortal Kombat. Everything else has been a debacle, both critically and financially. And Mortal Kombat finds an audience, has a sweet song, and does really, really well. Paul Anderson is a fan of video games, plays video games, is really into Resident Evil, the video game, and wants to make a Resident Evil movie, but cannot get the rights or get a meeting or anything like that. And so he writes a script for a movie that is basically just like Resident Evil, but in name.
Mm-hmm.
Was it called Biohazard?
I don't know what it's called, but yeah. So the story goes that, yeah, he wrote a ripoff basically. And then God love him, somebody said, actually, we would like you to direct a Resident Evil movie, like for real. And you can call this movie that you want to make Resident Evil.
I'm going to quickly, before we get into the movie properly, I'm going to tell my Constantine Films story. Just really quickly, it's fun to note that Constantine Films, I don't know the full history of this company, but when I saw their name pop up in the credits, I got really excited. I got went full Leo pointing meme because last summer, I did a little bit of a deep dive into the 1994 Fantastic Four movie that never got properly released.
It got properly released in my heart.
That is true. It did.
I love that movie so much.
And then I rewatched it recently as part of a Fantastic Four marathon, which was oh God, that was not a good day.
And how many movies were you able to watch for that marathon?
We were at 4, and that was
yes,
we're safe. We're safe. Yeah, God. But anyways, my point is just like, so the deal is Constantine Films, they were the company that owned the rights, that had purchased the rights to the Fantastic Four from Marvel in the 80s. And so the whole deal with the Roger Corman Fantastic Four is that it was a movie that was only made so that Constantine Films could keep the rights to the Fantastic Four. So Constantine Films hired Roger Corman. Hey, you can just knock this out. Here's the thing. Constantine Films, as embarrassing as the Roger Corman Fantastic Four is, made a really smart choice in that regard because they still have the rights to the Fantastic Four. The Constantine Films name is on every pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe Fantastic Fours, and a producer from Constantine Films is included in the credits of First Steps.
Ooh, they're the Michael Uslan of...
Yeah,
they have just been drifting off this franchise because they still have those goddamn rights. And so I'm very excited to find out if Constantine Films has basically a similar deal going with the Resident Evil movies.
I mean, I wonder what they bought the rights to Resident Evil early on, and because I don't feel like they were necessarily super involved in the making of this.
No, I don't. I mean, again, when they needed to make that original movie, the guy was just like, "Hey, Roger Corman, get to work."
Well, that was Fantastic Four, but I wonder what their Resident Evil move was.
I'm just saying. I don't think they're like the kind of producers that are
we have a vision for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
That sort of explains how the main character isn't from the games, right? Because she's not, as I understand it.
No, Alice is one of many things that he completely makes up for the movie.
Like as the movies go on, we get game characters coming in, but Alice and all of that is...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this feels like a good time to segue to our plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start off. We start off as all great cinema does with a crawl.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh God, it's so good.
And I mean, Jesse, do you have it up? Should we just watch it one more time?
Sure, yeah.
One more time because we love it.
Oh, I love an opening crawl like this. Oceans are now battlefields,
If
y'all.
only there had been 7 Johnny Mnemonic movies.
If only. All right.
Constantine film.
Yep.
At the beginning of the 21st century, the Umbrella Corporation had become the largest commercial entity in the United States. 9 out of every 10 homes contain its products. Its political and financial influence is felt everywhere. In public, it is the world's leading supplier of computer technology, medical products, and healthcare. Unknown even to its own employees, its massive profits are generated by military technology, genetic experimentation, and viral weaponry.
And then the title comes up, which doesn't make any sense and
Nope.
should be Biohazard.
Biohazard would make so much sense in that context.
You listen to the words that he says, and then you're like, the movie I'm watching, Biohazard.
So a very sexy man introduces the concept that there is a company called the Umbrella Corporation.
Maybe this is from the perspective of 2026 and not 2002. But if your giant mega company does military technology, genetic experimentation, and viral weaponry, we all know about it and nobody cares and it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but like your stock is through the roof.
Ace said this movie comes from a very different time when corporations weren't really considered to be people and we judged them harshly for the evil they wanted to do in the world.
This comes from a time when corporations were good.
Yeah. It was a simpler time, a gentler time. And that's why it's a horror movie about a corporation gone evil, because at that time, in those days, that sounded implausible and horrifying.
Not like the kindly folks at AOL. They would never do this to us.
AOL would never.
A good and pure company.
God, but all right. So by 2002 standards, like there's no computer company that's in 9 out of 10 households, even in America in 2002 or 2001. Not in that way.
I mean, you could say, I think statistically to this day, Windows is still the most commonly used OS. So at that time, you could say Microsoft technically was, but also Microsoft was just strictly a software company, really.
Right.
And so it was not, to the best of my knowledge, Bill Gates was not personally experimenting. Oh, wow, I don't even want to talk about that now.
No, but I mean, that's going to be a theme too. But I mean, at least one of the microphone cables that's on this table right now is from Amazon.com.
Oh, okay.
Like it has Amazon's logo on it because I needed a mic cable in,
These things
19
happen.
hours.
Yeah. These things happen. It's okay. Amazon, a good and true company.
A good and true company that's in lots of places and isn't dependent on government contracts for anything.
But to the best of my knowledge, Jeff Bezos is not personally overseeing genetic experimentation except when it comes to his lip filler.
Was it Jeff Bezos' voice?
Oh, so do you guys recognize the sexy man?
I don't, but I think I know who it is.
Yeah. It is Jason Isaacs.
What?
Yeah.
It is Jason Isaacs.
Ooh. Frequent Paul W.S. Anderson collaborator,
That's
Jason
why.
Isaacs, huh?
That's why. Yeah, it was the assistant director up until about 2 weeks apparently before it was released, and then he said we got to replace him.
That's amazing.
And so they called their friend Jason Isaacs, who also is uncredited but briefly seen in the film. His beautiful eyes are behind a medical mask at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So now we get to see some what looks like a very fine corporate office with lots of corporate drones going to work, doing things, but also there's labs and things. And then someone in a hazmat suit goes into a lab that with I would say vials that, production designer, bless you, just look like DNA.
Yeah.
Helixes. Yeah. They're just like, we're just cut right to the chase with this one. We're going to design it right up. And maybe the person in the hazmat suit, you can't really tell, but someone sort of gently tosses the DNA vial across the room sort of a light throw, and it shatters on the other side of the room on a chair or something.
Yeah.
Either way, cannot be good. All the lovely office drones are like, oh, a fire alarm. How boring. And then a woman gets decapitated in an elevator.
Yeah.
Yes. For some reason, the building kills everybody in the office building.
Yes, it's appropriately scary. There's the elevator stuff is particularly effective. Like, I definitely was yelling a lot when that lady had most of her body extended out of the elevator. They really toy with you with that sequence. So yeah, but nice opening burst of carnage, and then we get to meet our new friend Alice.
Hard cut to a marble shower.
Yeah. Also, I have a lot of questions about how she's able to maintain the curl in her hair after being passed out in a shower.
You saw the flashback. She didn't get her hair wet yet.
But fair enough.
There are bigger questions about what Alice is able to do in this movie, I think.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah. But anyway, so like, she's clearly disoriented. She's wandering around. She's like looking through this bedroom she clearly doesn't recognize, finding all these things she doesn't understand. There's a little note by her bed that says, "Today all your dreams come true." She tries copying it, and it's like it's very different handwriting. So
I loved that, by the way.
Yeah, it's a really great visual detail.
Yeah. She's smart. She nailed it.
Yeah. Like, she clearly doesn't know who she is, and she's figuring it out. And then she sees these drawers full of white t-shirts, and the next time we see her, she is wearing the aforementioned red dress, and I don't get it.
So let's talk about this. What I wrote in my notes was, this outfit is iconic nonsense.
Yes.
It's like a red mini dress.
Yeah.
But then with a longer dress attached to the back and side.
It's like a fishtail hem, I believe, or it's an extreme fishtail.
Like around the side, not in the back.
I'm not saying it's good. Well,
I'm saying it's good.
Yeah.
It is cool. It is very cool looking. You're very right about the iconic outfit of it.
I think the dress is on the bed, right? Isn't it? Like,
oh, is it laid out?
The dress is on the bed. No, Liz, you're okay, because my note is about the boots, actually, weirdly, because like the dress is laid out on the bed, but the boots are not there. And she chooses these stomper, like knee-high leather boots that,
I mean, that's
iconic nonsense.
They are iconic nonsense.
Yes.
They are actually the smartest wardrobe choice anyone makes.
But she stomps out of the room in her new shit kickers and her beautiful dress, and meets the aforementioned, what is that actor's name again?
Eric Mabius?
Yeah, yes. But a cop who, with every line of dialogue he utters, makes it very clear that he is pretending to be a cop and not actually a cop. Like from the moment he shows up.
That character felt so random.
He becomes interesting, but at the beginning it does feel like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, there's already a lot going on. I don't understand why a cop is here. A cop singular.
And then a bunch of other cops, are rather like soldiers, SWAT team guys, bust in, kick some ass, put handcuffs on him, and keep talking to Alice like she's one of them, like she should know them, and she doesn't know them. So we're getting a sense here of who she is, maybe why she has an inner badass. And then when you talk about people, James Purefoy shows up, and then things get real interesting, because she takes off her wedding ring, and the inside of her wedding ring says property of Umbrella Corporation, which feels like a Batman villain level, like unnecessary detail.
9 out of every 10 homes, they're in everything. The Umbrella Corporation makes everything. They make wedding rings. They make mutation viruses. They make bioweapons. They do it all.
Trains. I'm just going to take this moment here to share that I don't know what it is, but I genuinely find it amusing whenever like a property leans this hard into everything is made by this one company. It just cracks me up. The Umbrella Company branded bullets is what really got me. Those were fantastic.
It wasn't until like the end of my notes that I actually started using people's actual names. James Purefoy is Spence. So Alice, Kaplan, and Spence get taken by stars.
You know what? I looked it up, and now I'm actually not sure that it's actually stars yet. They might just be the Umbrella Corporation's people. It's dicey In video game lore, apparently Stars was created by the mayor of Raccoon City.
Oh, so it's like a subdivision of the Raccoon Police?
Yes.
Yes, and they show us that zoom in on the hive.
Yes.
And which is an elaborate underground facility under the city. And a 3D model that I'm guessing they spent a lot of money on because they come back to it quite a bit over the course of the motion picture.
I love it when that happens.
We have seen every damn frame of that 3D model. As they take their now prisoners deeper into the hive, they walk through some giant blast doors and pass a huge clock on the wall, so you know that's coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they all get into a train. As you said, the Umbrella Corporation makes trains to take them deeper into the hive. Then we get back to the 3D model, I think, as we follow the train going into the...
They want you to understand how far away the mansion is from the hive.
Yes.
I also like that there's a train. I like trains.
The train is an homage to the second video game. It is one of the things. So Paul Anderson wrote Resident Evil, the movie, intending it to be sort of a prequel to the video games. So
wait, how many video games had come out by the time this movie came out?
2, maybe 3.
That's not that many.
No,
there are actually going to be more Resident Evil movies than video games very soon.
Wow.
In the core lineup.
Yeah. Well, also, I feel like lately they've mostly been remastering the old Resident Evils and re-releasing them rather than making new ones.
9, I think, just came out. Requiem is the new one.
So I'm going to fast forward us through some of this plot here. We're with the special ops team. We're on the train. We go to the hive, and the special ops team is there to retrieve the virus.
They're there to find out what happened because the hive goes dark.
Right. Okay.
And they explain to us at the big, like they're the first ones to mention the Red Queen and say that the Red Queen killed everyone.
Went homicidal.
Yes.
Is what they say. Yeah, the AI went homicidal, and they don't know why.
So one thing that I really appreciate about this movie, and maybe this franchise in general, is it will set up some mysteries, but it does not mess around in just telling you what happened. Like we're gonna set it up, and then we're gonna pay it off, and we're gonna keep churning. So why did everybody get murdered in the first scene? Well, 10 minutes later, it was the Red Queen. We're busy with other stuff now.
Yeah, it moves forward through a lot of stuff. It's pretty impressive in that respect.
So they have a plan. They need to get to a room on the other side of this hallway where they have a machine that will shut down the Red Queen. They need to get to this other room. Some of our gentle friends head into the hallway. In fact, the bulk of the Not Stars team, the task force, head into the hallway, which I would describe as a murder hallway.
Why would you say that, Ace? So what possible reason would you have to describe it that way? It's so clean and white. Why would that be potentially threatening to you?
Or I guess you could also call it a cut slide hallway because it is mostly lasers move through the hallway in fun new configurations so that people can have parts of their body sliced off and then hold together just long enough to then slowly slide apart as they die. In the show notes, we have to include a link to this incredible video. I actually don't know who specifically at Psychic Bunny. Oh, I mean, I think Aaron did a lot of the editing, but it was me assembling all the cut slide footage. And it was my passion for cut slides.
Asa created a beautiful tribute to the art of the cut slide. And
shout out to Aaron Bennett.
Yes, and Resident Evil is featured heavily in it because of this amazing sequence where it's just one laser and you have to try to jump over it. Maybe you can't. Oh, no, you can't. There we go. Your legs. Sorry, buddy. And then oh, no, there are 2 lasers now. And then it's a grid of lasers. Whoops.
My favorite thing in this is, I mean, it racks focus to Alice's horrified face. But when the grid of lasers goes through the guy and as he's cut sliding, and probably some of the rack focus was like, we don't have the digital effects for this yet. But as he is cut sliding apart, you see like goo leak out of his eye.
Yes, I noticed that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So the hallway murders everyone in the hallway.
Yep.
Our friend Oh no, Kaplan isn't.
No, it's not. Yeah, not everybody.
Kaplan isn't Eric Mabius. Kaplan is the other. Who is
Yes.
Eric Mabius?
Eric Mabius is the cop.
Yeah. But what's his name?
Matt.
Oh, I don't even remember them ever saying Matt. Boy, Kaplan is a really interesting character in this movie who is kind of a jerk and kind of a scaredy cat. But also, after everyone got murdered in that hallway, he is the person who picks up that device and walks right back into the hallway and is like, but we have to turn off the Red Queen, so I'm going to go into the hallway. And I was like, dude, you are stupid and brave, and I am here for it. Big fan of Kaplan.
Way to go, Kaplan.
For some reason, I can't remember why. Maybe you do. They don't get murdered and they get into the chamber.
Kaplan is also the computer expert on not stars, and so he has managed to disable the lasers.
Oh, but he didn't disable them fast enough for everybody else.
Yeah, that scene is a lot of them yelling, do it faster, Kaplan.
Yeah.
Also, is it me or does Kaplan look a lot like the other dude on the team who has short dark hair?
Oh, for sure. They all kind of look the same.
Thank you.
They dispense with everyone, but Kaplan.
So to be clear, Michelle Rodriguez is not part of this scene because she is off with Eric Mabius, quote unquote, Matt.
Yes.
I don't know if I buy it. Because he is handcuffed still.
Yes.
So he's not super mobile or useful. So she's sort of guarding him in another room where some things may or may not happen. The important bit when Kaplan and Alice get into the other chamber and go to shut down the Red Queen is he specifically mentions the Red Queen is modeled after the programmer's daughter, and that was part of the whole system that was built into the hive and all of these things, and now they're going to shut her down. And I don't know why that takes 3 giant pieces, but it does in classic movie fashion. And they shut her down, which opens all the doors inside the hive facility. And then we learn why maybe the Red Queen murdered everybody and locked down the facility.
So the virus, which is the T virus, T at various points in Resident Evil has stood for either tyrant or trigger, depending on, but that's not what you thought either of those was going to be.
No, you could, if you'd given me 10 choices, I wouldn't have come up with any of those.
Quick around the table. If you had to guess what T virus stood for, I think I would have gone terror.
Oh, interesting.
Which I don't know why a company would name it that, but I don't know why that company does a lot of things that they clearly do.
I mean, for me, I just think about T cells and the autoimmune system. So, I don't know what the T stands for in T cells, but I would just assume that.
Oh, you're so much smarter than me.
Yeah, that wins. That makes a lot more sense.
No, but you still have to guess, Jesse.
Yes, I was going to say terminal was what I was, but yeah, I was also wrong. At any rate,
train virus.
Train virus.
Train virus. That's sad though, because trains are fun.
But we know that the raccoons love trains.
Jesus. So the T virus has infected everybody in the facility because it got into the ventilation duct, like when you design your bioweapons labs and you design a central air system for those bioweapons labs.
I'm sorry. I know the movie's just about to kick off, but now I have to ask another question. Yeah. Is this another game translation thing where, like Mario, where in Japan it's called Tanuki City?
I think so. I know Tanuki's not a raccoon for anyone listening to the show who's feeling like they're about to write in with a correction, but it's close.
It's not a raccoon,
but yeah.
Americans don't know Tanukis, so they just translate for us, right?
I will look that up later, and I will put it in the show notes.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to talk about Raccoon City a lot in the next episode, so we can just talk about it then.
Oh, hey, in the spirit of the Resident Evil series, let's call that a dangling thing that we'll come back to, like when we feel like it.
Yeah, perfect, love it.
All right, so we got our Black Ops fellas and ladies fighting off these giant monsters, and Michelle Rodriguez gets bit. But this is also one of those movies where, despite there being like an undead element or a communicative virus element, no one knows basic zombie movie rules like aim for the head, if you get bit, you're probably infected, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, when I think about this, defining this as a zombie movie, the fact that it doesn't know the rules of a zombie movie, that feels like it puts it in that category for me a little bit. The only people who don't know the rules of a zombie movie are the people inside a zombie movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it's in a meta zombie movie, but then they'll make a big thing about it.
This is going to become a little bit of a runner in this movie, but Michelle Rodriguez doesn't just get bit in this scene. She gets bit, fights a bunch, and then gets bit like 2 or 3 more times just in this scene.
Yeah.
She's not good at not getting bit.
No, it's good. And then later they bite her some more. Like, it takes like, it's good.
It'll come back.
But in a way where, like, if you do, because you do know the rules of a zombie movie, you're definitely like, well, maybe I don't know the rules of this zombie movie. Maybe, like, and it does seem like you do have to die. That's the problem. As the Red Queen explains in a later scene, the problem is it's designed to make you heal, but it heals you even after you're dead, but it only brings you back, like, very limited, like, just eat, bite. That's about all that it's good for, and so it's kind of a problem. And it's apparently, it changes form, so it can spread through the air, it can spread through bites, it can spread through whatever the hell it wants.
Not ideal. So
Michelle Rodriguez gets bit a bunch, and then we get our first of many, many flashbacks where we learn that Alice is a spy, and she was talking to a woman who we saw in the original breakdown horror scene,
right?
And saying, like, I can get you a copy of the virus. So now we know, because we've been getting all of this stuff about, like, was she working for the Umbrella Corporation? Is she really a bad guy? Now we're getting our first hints of, like, oh, well, she was trying to do a good thing from the inside, so we kind of like her. We also get her getting chased by zombie Dobermans, and our first hint of Alice being super soldier when she jump kicks a zombie Doberman in the face.
That ruled. That was amazing.
She has like exactly enough bullets. Also, that she checks how many bullets she has. This is one of the few actual Resident Evil moments. And like, there is one more dog than there are bullets. And so then she gets to do a sweet kick, which that dress is designed for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like a flying spin kick.
Yeah. With one bare leg, which is the kicking leg. And later the neck breaking leg.
Alice's whole deal is, she has amnesia, and they quickly figure out this was a defense that mechanism from on part of the house, and was this a Red Queen thing, or
we find out later why.
So, but she's still figuring out who she is. And so, yeah, it is like a really cool moment when she's largely been coddled by the other team the rest of the team at this time and up until this moment. And then she's like, well, I've been left alone with a gun, and I guess I'll figure out what to do. And then she does.
And then she goes from there into, there's some zombie fight with Eric Mabius, who I want to call Steve. Will? Sam. What bland white guy name? Matt.
Yeah.
Her and Matt murder the zombified version of the woman that Alice was talking to in the graveyard, which is also his sister, and he reveals that he's shockingly not a cop and is actually part of the resistance and was working in the resistance with his sister. They were trying to get a copy of the T-virus out of the building. So now we are left to wonder, was it trying to sneak the T-virus out that actually set off all of this nightmare and horror? We don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we'll find out
in 4 movies from now. This is the way this franchise works.
I think crucially there is an antidote that has also been stolen.
Yes, there were 2 different kinds of vials that were in the case. There was there were the green and blue.
Yeah.
So now they're trapped, and because they are trapped in the facility, and they have, wouldn't you know it, a limited amount of time before it is locked down forever and they have to get out. Alice decides that they have to turn the Red Queen back on, because that is the only way they're going to get out of this facility. And then I have written in my notes here, there is an action scene in a sewer that you can ignore, except for Michelle Rodriguez gets bitten like 5 more times.
I think this is also where Milla Jovovich does the I will snap a man's neck with my thighs move.
Oh, yeah.
That's also in the sewer.
Okay.
Good times in the sewer.
And very 2002.
And then we get to Liz's favorite.
I just really like this scene because I've seen you've seen it so many times. And it's always so depressing. You know, the lone soldier left behind. He's got the one bullet. He's like, he just chooses his own end, and he just fires that bullet into the crowd of zombies that are waiting to kill him.
You're gonna have to work for your meal.
And I'm like, yeah, way to go, Kaplan. I mean, it's a much more painful end, but you know, I respect the spirit of it. Work for it. And he does, in fact, like drag himself into the pipes. Kaplan rules.
I do really like the next scene where they are trapped. The Red Queen is back on, and she's willing to negotiate at this point, but she wants them to shoot Michelle Rodriguez.
I can give you the code, but first you must do something for me.
What do you want?
One of your group is infected. I require her life for the code.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, in fairness, they should have shot Michelle Rodriguez. I say this as someone who loves Michelle Rodriguez an awful lot.
Yeah. So for context, if you haven't actually seen this motion picture, what's happening is we are down to, in a room, I think just Eric Mabius, Don, Carl,
Max. For a minute, I'm like, wait, is there also is Carl one of the characters? Is he still alive? No, Carl's dead. Everybody's dead.
Look, at least AC, you're trying to remember these character names. I'm like, okay, you told me Kaplan. I can keep that one in my head a little bit.
We're down to Matt, Alice, and James Purefoy, whose name I also don't remember.
It's stupid.
Spence.
That's not a good name.
I do want to say though that we keep saying Michelle Rodriguez, and she is a actress that we love, but
she also has a character name,
which is Rain Ocampo.
I'm going to keep
a pretty good name.
Yeah,
Rain is fun.
Okay, we're gonna get better at this.
Yes.
I actually don't intend to get better at this. I find that remembering character names is very
it's peculiar because that's the most video game ass name in the whole bunch. That is the most Resident Evil name out of anybody so far, and it's for a character who is not.
Well, and here's the thing: in later installations in this franchise, the number of actors you recognize is going to go way, way down, and so character names will become more the currency of the land.
This is fair. I embrace this fact. Okay. So
Matt, Spence, and Alice are all stuck in a room. And Rain. And the Red Queen, who has been turned back on, is more than happy to help them get back to the surface. But because the Red Queen killed everybody in order to stop the T-virus getting out, the one thing she will not do is let someone who has been bitten 47 times by zombies go to the surface, which honestly is a good call on her part.
This is what I'm saying.
They know there's a cure, but the Red Queen says that the cure might not work on Rain.
Because she got bit so many times?
It might have something to do with that, yes. And so she says that the price of letting them go back to the surface at all is for them to kill Rain, which, yes, is an incredible setup for a scene. Like, what an awesome moment.
Made even better by the fact that it's in the middle of like kind of a couple of set pieces in a row. And so to sort of have a moment of a different kind of horror.
Moral tension.
Yeah. If
it were The Last of Us, you definitely would have had to shoot Rain to get through this part of the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
But just to clarify, I think I maybe missed you saying this. These sorts of moral decisions are a big part of the game.
No. The Resident Evil games are kind of on rails, except that so the cool thing about the Resident Evil games, especially at the beginning, is there's almost always a choice of a protagonist. There's always two of them in the first few in the series. And the story does unfold slightly differently depending on who you choose to go along with. It's either 6 or 7 is the one that they subtitle Biohazard. So they do eventually decide to call one of the Resident Evil games Biohazard. This one doesn't really seem to have the T-virus at all. It's all like a weird undead family.
What I'm hearing is that the one Resident Evil game that is called Biohazard does not feature a biohazard.
There is a moral choice in that one about which character you save, your your missing wife or a new friend you made.
Okay.
You can choose either one.
Feels like it should be an easy choice, but who did you save, Jesse?
I was following a guide at that point because I was not having any fun, and so it was like, you should save your wife.
I'm glad the guide helped you figure that out.
You need to understand that, like, the setup for it is zombie wife has, like, cut off your hand with a chainsaw by the opening act of this.
Save your wife is not save her from zombies. It's she's a
infected,
zombie.
Yes. She's infected by this thing and has like cruelly tortured you. And then like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Like 5 times by this point. And so you're kind of like, I don't know about her. Whereas the other person is also infected, but is definitely like, my family is crazy and I'm going to help you get away from them. And then turns out that you only have one of the antidote, and so you have to choose which one.
All right.
I guess it makes a little more sense, but I also still kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm glad the guide helped you there.
But as long as we're choosing who gets antidotes,
yes,
we want to give all of them to
Rain. Yeah,
Rain Ocampo.
Yes.
Rain Ocampo.
While we're having all of this moral dilemma, we get a Spence flashback.
Yeah.
Which has the most dramatic recording reveal that I've ever seen, where this conversation that we've seen a couple times in the graveyard about stealing the T-virus.
Yeah.
It's like Spence on the porch with like a 3-foot long microphone.
Like in the conversation, spying on his ostensible wife.
Yes, property of the Umbrella Corporation.
Property of the Umbrella Corporation.
This is where we learn that he went and stole the T-virus. He tells them, it's kind of, help me work this out a little bit. He went and stole it and was trying to get it out of the facility, which is when he broke the one.
Yeah, he was the guy in the hazmat suit at the beginning.
He is Gentle Tosser.
Yeah.
So he infected everybody in the facility and then was going to escape the facility with one vial of the virus and one of the cure. That was his plan. The Red Queen shut everything down, trapped all the zombies in the facility, killed everybody in the facility, and then activated, as we said, the failsafe in the mansion, which made him and Alice both pass out and have memory loss, which is how we ended up where we are now. What was unclear to me from even the dialogue when he explains all this, he kind of wanted Alice to be in on it with him, but I couldn't tell if I felt like he was stealing it to like sell it back to the Raccoon Corporation or somehow make them rich. It was not the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah.
I've got raccoons on the brain. I can't imagine why. It was like a get rich scheme thievery, not I'm part of the resistance thievery.
He heard her plan to steal the virus to like make the world a better place, and he was like, well, that's going to mess up our spot. So I'm going to steal it instead so that we can sell it together and make a lot of money and sail off into the sunset and not have to worry about any of this. Right. So it was kind of rooted in him wanting to continue having this like relationship with her. So from his perspective, this is a romantic gesture.
Yeah. But she turns him down. So he traps Alice, Chuck, and Rain in whatever room they're in and is like, I'm going to go get on the train and get out of here. And Alice talks to the Red Queen and is all, oh no. And the Red Queen says, don't even worry. I've got it.
I've been a bad, bad girl.
And we haven't really mentioned up until this point that there have been a couple moments where you see through a dim hallway something that is bigger, that has giant claws, something that is not one of these other zombies. We've seen hints of this thing, but now the Red Queen is like, no, don't worry. He's not getting out of here.
Honestly, a pretty delightful. I think one of the things that works really well about this movie, it's the way it's like plays with the enemy and my enemy stuff. Like
it almost immediately then becomes, now that it has eaten new DNA, it will become a more dangerous, more awful monster than ever before, and it is still between you and the train. You're welcome.
That's not great.
But the Red Queen's main goal is not for them to get out of here alive.
No, she seems pretty actively against it.
Guys, so this is a monster. So we are past full zombie at this point. So we're into monster.
And I just want to share from my notes the words, "Hoo boy, that CGI monster."
I thought the CGI was pretty good, to be honest.
I thought it looked like 2002 CGI on a budget.
It has one bad sequence, which is where it actually breaks out of the containment, and it does look a little not perfectly composited.
Yeah.
What I discovered, since I also did the commentary track, is there's a lot more CGI in the movie than you thought. And so honestly, like, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, fair.
There's a lot of like birds that like flee through the trees during some of these flashbacks, and like when they're outside the mansion, those are all digital. And I didn't know that. And I was like, oh man, those birds were good. Like there's a lot of stuff like that in the movie.
For 2002, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff in there that you're like, oh man, that's pretty good. And for a $33 million movie, not that bad. But that monster is from the video game. It's called a licker.
I mean,
that makes sense.
By
It
the
does have the
wikis
giant
and things.
It
Yeah.
does have the giant tongue.
It's got a giant exposed brain and a huge tongue and giant horrible claws.
Yeah. So they're not going to kill Rain, even though the cure is
unconfirmed.
Yeah. They're not going to kill Rain. Alice won't do it. So she's like, nope, I'm shutting down the Red Queen again. Goodbye. So she turns off the Red Queen again, which opens all the doors.
No. This is
isn't that how they get on the train?
No,
she turns off all the doors.
This is our buddy's best moment. This is
that's when he shows up.
No, they're trapped in the room and she won't let them out, and then everything goes nuts because he has the kill switch.
Bitch wouldn't open the door, so I had to fry her.
Which is great because that pays that off. Because the last time you see Kaplan, he's just like crawling away, and you're hoping that he gets away. But we all forgot that he had the kill switch for the Red Queen, and he does choose to use it. So she's now dead again, and the doors are all open, and monster loose, and we have to run to the train where.
But we've got Kaplan back, which is all that really matters.
And we know where the cure is. So we're just, which was on the train the whole time. This entire trip was entirely unnecessary if we had just looked down at any point. Yeah.
But before we get on the train, real quick, Spence has to wake up and be zombified so specifically so that Alice can splatter him one last time and then take off her Umbrella Corporation brand ring and leave it behind.
Beautiful.
That's good. That's a very 2002 girls rock.
And Rain dies and becomes a zombie.
I also love this moment. This is one of my all-time favorite moments in the entire series, though, is the moment where like she's dead and then they're just about to like do something about it, and she wakes up again and does that like, I'm not dead yet.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Oh, no.
Her delivery on that is so good.
Alice has a gun like right in front of her face, and she grabs the gun and is like, not yet, bitch.
A lot of people here are just really determined to live life to the fullest.
That's really what the Resident Evil series is about. It's really the theme.
Live life to the fullest.
It's inspirational that way. It's really, it's a beautiful series.
So that they're on the train. Kaplan is driving. The giant monster attacks. The giant monster comes in, kills Kaplan. Sad, our boy. Pour one out for Kaplan. Yeah. He was the best. And comes into the main compartment where we've now got Rain, who just became zombified. Or she doesn't actually become zombified, I think, until like halfway through this, because a complication in the fight scene.
Yes.
Right?
So we got Steve.
Matt.
Yeah, you said
it's the last scene he's in. No, it's not the last scene he's in.
No, I let a Chuck slide by like 5 minutes ago, and I was just like, I'm not going to point it out. Asa will get there eventually.
You got Matt, Alice, and Rain in the back. That's our only survivors at this point. They're fighting what we now know is called the liquor. Alice gets like a crowbar and jams its tongue, so it's a little more it's a little less mobile than it was.
A little less licky.
But this is when Rain finally becomes zombified, so Matt has to fight Rain off, which is a sadness for us.
Yeah. And I don't want to skip ahead. I have don't confirm or deny this for me necessarily, but I have a vague sense in my head that this is not the last we see of Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, interesting.
You might be thinking of Fast and the Furious, but let's explore that.
Yes.
I mean, maybe that, I just had the vague sense that like they figured out a way to bring her back.
Okay. All right.
No,
that's good. That's good.
We're going to get there.
We'll get there.
Okay. You guys both leaned in. They're just like, really?
Yeah, I'm intrigued now, but we are going to get there down the road.
Right.
Long story short, they drop the liquor. I just don't even like saying it. Out a hole in the bottom of the train, burn it up, get back to what I think of as the mansion level.
Yep.
And oh, wouldn't you know it? Guess who has been sliced in the shoulder by those giant claws on ye old liquor?
Oh,
poor Matt. Almost made it.
Yep. These things happen. So we've got 2 infected people left. We've got one non-infected person. We got one infected person. And is this when the suits crash? The lab coats crash in?
Lab coats show up.
Yep.
Lab coats show up. They grab Matt. They haul him away. She keeps screaming like, "There's a cure! There's a cure! Just give him the cure!" And you hear one of them say, "I want this one in the Nemesis Project."
That is also Jason Isaacs.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she gets chloroformed or whatever. It sort of goes to white, and you know that they've separated them, and everything is.
The final dialogue line is the most Umbrella ass thing, where then they say, "Let's reopen the hive. I want to know what happened in there."
Yeah,
and you're like. First of all, I thought that the whole point of the ticky-talkie clock was like when this reaches 0, this thing seals forever. And
like,
it turns
never
out that,
open it.
Unless Jason Isaacs wants in. And then
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If Jason Isaacs wants into your hive, you let him in.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So everything goes to white. We jump forward some indeterminate amount of time. And I would argue that this now... The final 3 to 5 minutes of this film is when this movie becomes a franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And becomes capital R, capital E, Resident Evil.
It's pretty baller. I do genuinely love this ending because it's not wrapping everything up. But it's like cutting past a lot of the usual BS, and you just really dive into, let's mess some stuff up.
Alice wakes up on a lab table in like an operating room. Half of her head is shaved.
Yes.
And you see her like pull the wires out of her brain. Yeah. Because as previously stated, she is a total badass.
Yep.
She falls off the table. You like pull through a window where you see that no one is in the control room as she's like screaming for anybody to be there. And she stumbles outside where it's just carnage. There's a wrecked cop car. She pulls a shotgun out of the cop car and then cocks the shotgun as the camera pulls out and up through this completely ruined street to reveal just the utter wreckage of Raccoon City. Nobody is there. Everything is destroyed. It's Alice and a shotgun alone against the world. This is Resident Evil.
So dope.
And then they play a Slipknot song.
Why not? Riffing on our previous discussion, it's something I wouldn't even have thought to mention, except we were talking about the George Romero ad. I do really distinctly remember because they do a really good job of dressing that entire like desolate set. You've got like lots of ads for the Umbrella Corporation. You've got the Raccoon City Press, a newspaper, like with the headline like "Dead Walker," which is a great Romero touch. Yeah. A bunch of police cars scattered around, and they do say RCPD on them. So it's Raccoon City Police Department and not Raccoon Police. And I'm so sorry about that.
It's just in that one. It's just in that one Romero trailer that it's the Raccoon Police.
Raccoon Police is so much better. So I'm with you on this.
So Resident Evil cost a lot of money by the amount of money that they were willing to give Paul Anderson to make a video game movie.
Sure.
And at the turn of the century. And so that ending is the second ending. Yeah. This is would you guys like to see the original ending of Resident Evil before he got some money to do a different movie?
Very, very much.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
No.
In a very early draft of the script, I pretty much had the ending of the film as it was released. But
okay, y'all, I didn't know he was British.
There were two things that kind of weighed against that ending. One was a budget issue. It was deemed too expensive to shoot, to have this big devastated city. And the other was, it was felt that it would be too depressing to kind of see the city overrun with the undead.
The Raccoon City
So I wrote and we
Times.
shot a completely different ending, which is a more up ending, which is 6 months after the incident at the Hive. You know, Milla's now wearing a different costume, and she's become this kind of kick-ass Avenger who's hunting down the Umbrella Corporation, looking for Matt, who's been taken off mutating.
Wow.
And she's gone looking for him, and she walks into Umbrella headquarters.
Whoa.
This is blowing Ace's mind.
The idea was we'd have this rocket shoot a camera and then kind of freeze, and then the front of the rocket would just split apart. And you'd see lots of mini rockets inside, like smart rockets.
That doesn't sound that cheap.
And then suddenly we go back into real time, and the rockets would go and like nail each of these guys. So it was quite a cool ending, but it was smaller, and it was definitely more up because, you know, it was a very actiony ending, and she was kicking ass. This is a movie that's very influenced by 70s films, and I think it's right that we went for the kind of bleak ending. And I think it really, for me, it really works.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Well, that was Jesse. Thank you very much for showing us that. That was pretty fascinating.
I don't know. No, this is very interesting because I'm gonna have to think about this ending a little bit more. It's obviously not a happy ending, but I don't necessarily think of it as bleak.
No, she's you know, not laying down. She's got her gun. She's ready to fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you there. I do think it's, you know, sad that the apocalypse happened. I'm not like pro that, but
no, but I think you're right. I mean, like, I remember seeing the movie and being like, that was the moment where I was like, yeah, I would see another one of these.
Yeah. It's dope
for sure.
It's dope.
And you will, Jesse.
Yeah, I know.
You'll see
but
several more of these.
They didn't tie everything up, and so there still seems like there's something
more
to explore. Yeah.
The evil corporation element of it is probably going to be one of my favorite aspects of this franchise throughout.
I do think I don't know if it's after 4 or after 5, but I think we'll be playing that video again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. I thought you would notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. A gentle listener, if you haven't watched all the Resident Evil movies, I consider me your stand-in.
And that's a good end to, I think, a thing that we because you have not watched all of these movies.
Yes.
Sometimes when we do these movies, we will have all seen them.
Yes.
For some franchises. Sometimes maybe none of us will have seen all the movies, depending on, I mean, that would be hard given the crowd here, but we'll see if we can find a franchise where that's true. So listen, this is a good time, I think, to ask you, Liz. We've just watched Resident Evil.
Yes.
Resident Evil 1.
Yes.
What do you think comes next?
Well, I do know what comes, because the second one is what I see, but I also have very vague memories of, I don't even remember how it ends. So
do you remember how it starts?
Resident Evil 2 begins essentially as kind of a companion piece running parallel to this film and covers what happens in Raccoon City when the Hive goes kablooey. And we have to find out what happened to our friend Matt.
Now, having just watched that ending,
yes,
Is that what you want to see next?
No, I want to see Milla Jovovich.
Jovovich, how difficult is it, for God's sake?
Jovovich.
You know, look, the more this happens, the more I'm just Michelle Rodriguez of this podcast, and I'm going to own that with such pride that it's going to be a problem.
That's all you've ever wanted.
It's all I've ever wanted. I like that you guys got it in unison now.
That's good.
But yes, I want to see Mia, continue her path of discovering who she is and, killing lots of monsters.
If I were just shown this movie in a vacuum and you said there are many more movies after this, but like where do you think the next one starts? And I was like, immediately after this one ends was like,
yeah, pick up with that shot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like maybe we roll 30 seconds back just to make it clear, like run that whole scene again with her stumbling outside. But that's where we start the movie, and this is where we go from here. I don't expect to meet more colorful characters right away. But
yeah, it becomes like a Survivor tale, and instead we're gonna basically quasi prequel it. So. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. I'm not looking forward to necessarily watching the movie, but I'm looking forward to discussing it with you guys. So I feel like, we've dug in deep. What else do we want to talk about?
Oh, hey, I got stuff. I got a few more facts that we didn't get to that I think are just interesting, like, artifacts of this whole thing.
Sure.
And then I'm going to try a bit and we'll see if it stays.
Oh boy.
First of all, I've mentioned the commentary track several times. And for anybody listening, you have to find the DVD at this point because it's not on the iTunes features. They preserved the rest of the DVD, but you can't listen to the commentary track for the first movie, which is a crime because I think it's like one of the 10 great DVD era commentary tracks, like better than the Ben Affleck making fun of Michael Bay in Armageddon.
Okay, that's a high bar, man.
First of all, they managed to have like the producer, Paul Anderson, Michelle Rodriguez, and Milla Jovovich all just sitting around hanging out. And it's early enough in the process. And the way that you're listening to the track, it becomes clear that I don't think the movie's premiered yet. So they don't know, really. Like, they've all seen it at least once before because they're all very familiar with it. And they're yapping at each other throughout about like, oh, I like the other ending better and all this stuff.
Wait, did someone say they liked the other ending better?
They liked Michelle Rodriguez laments the fact that really sweet gun that shoots missiles that has more missiles inside of it isn't in the movie anymore.
I am so glad that Michelle Rodriguez is that on brand to herself and the characters that she plays. That is fabulous. That makes me really happy.
100%.
Yeah, no. So so Paul Anderson and Milla Jovovich are flirting overtly, kind of throughout.
When do they get married?
Several movies after this.
But I'm glad to see from the behind. I didn't know he had a nice pair of cheekbones on him. Like,
he's a handsome looking man.
Yeah, I'm glad that Mia's with someone of equal. I'm not gonna say equal hotness because come on, but equivalent, appropriate hotness.
It's not a King of Queens situation. Is what you're saying. Exactly.
I'm very glad to hear that.
While they're trying to do real commentary, Milla Jovovich will occasionally interject things like the producer will talk about color grading the film.
Took each individual frame of the shot and bits of the shot and colored them separately. So, for example, in the flashbacks, they're very desaturated. We took a lot of color out.
Okay, can I just say, like, who cares about that? You just saw my nipple.
It's a very, very great
I mean,
shot. Listen,
no one cares about the grading. All I have to say is, like, how committed am I?
Like, this commentary is utterly unhinged and it's constant. And there's this, like, weird tension between the people who want to talk about the movie and the people who want to talk about anything but the movie. And it continues throughout. It's like watching it with, like, your best friend and your worst friend at the same time.
But also, it sounds like two of those people on opposite sides of the divide you just described end up getting married.
Yes, they sure do. Other interesting stuff that I do want to share. I mentioned at the beginning that I came to this movie because of the soundtrack. Credit is shared between Marco Beltrami and Marilyn Manson.
Right.
This is a famous thing. Like, if you listen to the music, you can hear. But basically, industrial was a big thing at the time, and they hired him basically to add like a crunchy industrial sound that felt like this. But I mean, and the man is a disgusting human being, but this makes fun of him. So I think it's okay to say that he ran into a lot of trouble because he kept turning in tracks with sound effects for all the zombies on them.
Wait, what?
He would just do that Marilyn Manson, like, sort of like noises for the zombies because they gave him a work print, to score with. Right. And so he figured that he had to make all the roar and the noises.
He
so
thought he had to
the
do
loop
ADR.
Group. He was doing the loop group for all the zombies. And they're like, that's not your job, bud. We have sound people for that. We just need you to make the crunchy guitar wah-wah noise.
Do you know what that exactly is like? It's like on the set of The Phantom Menace when Ewan McGregor had to be told, you need to stop making the lightsaber noises with your mouth. We will do that for you later.
As funny as that, I find that it's weird because that's an endearing story. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's endearing on Ewan. Well, because Ewan is like literally playing the scene. He's got the lightsaber in his hands. He has grown up making the lightsaber noises with his mouth. And yeah, in Marilyn Manson's case, it's just ego and like, I'm here to make your project better by infusing my take on what your zombie noises should be. And that's just gross.
I think it's also just that he was
It's non-consensual. It's non-consensual zombie noises, and I don't like it.
I think so. Even it's in the liner notes. Like if you could get your hands on a copy of the CD, like in the liner notes, like Marco Beltrami is like, and Marilyn was very enthusiastic. Like there's a very
that's a euphemism for the ages.
Yeah, there's like a certain amount of like, oh yeah, no, like couldn't like was just like so excited to like add all of this stuff, and you can sort of tell like dude really has no idea how movies are made and really thought that this was the job, and this is when you add all the sound all at once. I think it's really, as a cultural artifact, it's really interesting because I will talk about the music of these movies in the same way because it does change. This is his only time where he does the movie. The theme's good. It's really hard to tell which part is whose in that regard, but I can hear it in my head, The later movies hire different composers, go different ways with it, but as a early aughts movie, this is such a, Liz was hinting at it earlier. The Matrix was released 2 years prior to this. And the leather and industrial rock and like muted color grading is everywhere.
Let's talk for a second about the fact that it was a 2002 movie. Because, I mean, I guess every decade, like, there's a little bit of a hangover into the 80s didn't really end until 91 or something. But, like, if you just showed me this movie, I would have guessed 97, 98. Like, it looks more like Mortal Kombat than it does 7 years after Mortal Kombat.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we'll talk about it next time, but I feel like these movies didn't start looking like they were made in the aughts and Extinction.
Yes.
The point is that I'm going to be excited for that because I feel like there's a part of me that kind of is forgetting how the 2000s were as a decade. As I mentioned, I rewatched the Fantastic Four movies over the summer, and that included, of course, 2005 and 2007. And it was just like, oh my God, were we all wearing that much bronzer? It's so weird to like look back at how Technicolor and weird and MTV-ish everything was.
Yeah.
So Jesse, any more fun facts for us?
My last super fun fact is actually just that Paul Anderson describes the movie. Actually, we were talking about this at the beginning, and I forgot when you said it. He says that he actually doesn't think of it as a zombie movie. He thinks of it as a haunted house movie.
Well, which would explain the title.
Yes.
That would be a better title for a haunted house movie.
The video game takes place exclusively in the house, for what it's worth. The hive is the house. Like, the lab is inside the mansion. There is no separate secondary.
Sure.
There's no secondary location.
Well, that makes more sense for a title. I don't dispute the title quite so much.
Yeah,
it does still seem like it should be like a ghost thing.
They are trapped in the house and trying to escape the house, and zombies are in the house also.
Gotcha. Okay.
Resident Evil.
It is because they're residents of the house, and the house is also evil.
Yeah, I mean, House of the Dead.
There you go. That's a much better title.
All the Alice in Wonderland references are on purpose, but have nothing to do with anything else. Yeah, Alice and the Hive and the Red Queen are utter inventions, as is Rain Ocampo.
So, is there a single character from this movie in the game?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I mean,
the dogs.
Sure.
The zombies,
the dogs,
the liquor,
and the liquor are from, and the train.
The train
are from the video game
featuring the train.
What's
Look,
interesting?
If you know how many times in my life I've heard some sort of actor or producer say, "Well, really, blank is like a character in our story." Like, yeah, you tell me the train is a character in your story. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Hey, the train virus is from the video
the T
game.
virus. T is for train.
Is it really?
No.
All right.
That's the big reveal in the final chapter. Is the T was for train. I feel like we need a good closer, but I don't know what that closer is.
So here's my suggestion for a bit.
Right. I love a bit.
All right.
More bits.
I want to do running superlatives for the franchise.
I see this in the outline.
We will vote on it, and they will change sort of as they go. It's going to be a little silly at the beginning because there's only one movie, and so some of this stuff will move. Alice's best outfit.
She does have like
multiple outfits in this movie. Yes.
Nude in the shower counts.
So which apparently she helped design the paper dress that's covers the front and the back, but not the middle, and not
that's at the end.
Not enough.
But that's at the end.
That's at the end, but that's still an outfit. That's still an outfit that she has, and she's wearing the paper dress with a lab coat over it at the end when she cocks the shotgun.
Yes.
Oh.
So
I wasn't even considering the paper dress until you said that. Now, does the shotgun count as part of the outfit?
I think it can.
I'm going to stick with red dress.
The red dress.
Yeah. It's the red dress for now. Alice's worst outfit. This will again change over time, but
is she wearing some kind of horrible like turtleneck sweater or something in that graveyard scene? Whatever she's wearing in that graveyard scene, that's the worst outfit.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
I feel like it's like a very Anthropology, like big sweater.
Yeah.
Graveyard sweater, I'm going to call that.
Oh my God.
Okay, best
some poor designer at Anthropology did not bust her ass for all of 2001 just to have you call that a graveyard sweater, Jesse.
My favorite video game fact related to Anthropology is that when this is why I'm on the show, I think. In the Grand Theft Auto series, when they do Los Angeles as Los Santos, they try to do a 1-to-1 a lot of things, which includes the Santa Monica Promenade and the Anthropology anchor store in the Santa Monica Promenade is visited. But because it's a Grand Theft Auto, they name everything something different. And in the Grand Theft Auto universe, Anthropology is named White Widow.
Wow.
As someone who owns more than one Anthropology dress, not wrong.
Best sidekick. Alice's best sidekick.
I think
Chuck. No, it's Kaplan. It's gotta be
Kaplan. All right. Sorry,
is it
Rain.
Not Rain Ocampo?
I mean, Rain's great, but she kind of becomes a liability.
You know what? Rain is nobody's sidekick.
There you go. Oh, that's what it is.
So that's fair.
Kaplan.
Yeah. Kaplan is very much a sidekick.
Kaplan's holding the title for now. Let's see how long Kaplan can hold on to it.
All right.
It might be longer than anyone thinks. Best action sequence.
I'm gonna vote for fighting the dogs.
Dogs are,
because you get that. I mean, maybe I need to save this for a later thing, but like her kicking that dog in the head is real good.
I mean, that's the first one that sprung to my mind, but it's not much of an action sequence. It feels like there must be something better.
I feel like the nominees are the hallway, the
what are we talking about?
Dogs.
Well, I mean, I think it's like
so it's none of the big zombie battles. You think they're not? They don't have enough going on.
They just didn't play differently enough for me versus like Cut Slide, which is a thing I have not seen in a movie before.
Murder Hallway.
Murder Hallway.
All right.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Murder Hallway.
That was added later to be a thing that people talked about. So yes,
beautiful.
Murder Hallway. Most ridiculous overall moment.
Maybe this is where I was like, this is where kicking the dog in the head comes in.
Yeah.
It's a wall run, isn't it? Isn't it a wall run?
Yeah, it's a wall run
into the
yeah.
dog kick. Yeah, okay,
it's a spinny kick. There's a little spinner.
Best thing that's from the game. The nominees are
Train.
The train, yes.
Train. We love Train.
Train.
Everybody loves Train.
Everyone's favorite character in the Resident Evil franchise. Strain.
Best thing the movie's made up. So far, the nominees are Alice, The Hive, and The Red Queen.
No,
Ooh.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want to say Alice instinctually because I think that the character's set up in a really interesting way. I think the whole vibe is good. Except the Red Queen is also really, really cool.
All three of the, like, I'm legitimately stunned The Hive. Maybe it's just because I've seen so many 3D models of it, but I'm legitimately stunned that that's not from a video game.
I'm going to say Red Queen.
There's plenty of time for Alice to be the best thing.
Yes.
You know what? Yes. And the Red Queen was so good that, like, when the movie's over, you wish that more of it had been about the Red Queen.
Yeah.
Like, she comes in and out, so, like, for these little chunks of it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Plus,
you're
I do
right,
remember, like, around 2002, 2003, I mean, we were film students and we were, like, hanging around and quoting movies all the time. But I do remember us saying to each other, "You're all going to die down here," like, quite a lot.
We didn't say it when we were going through the story, but I did have in my notes, she said the line. This is the moment when she says you're all going to die down here.
All right. Our favorite monster.
Well, it's kind of just the liquor.
The liquor. It can be the
the
zombies,
dogs.
It can be the dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say the liquor largely because when my cat is sprawled on top of me sometimes, she'll get like very excited about licking my hand or licking some other part of me or licking the blanket she's laying on. I'm just like, oh, you're a little licky girl, aren't you?
This one is mostly here for next time, but I put best music in here. Because I think the scores change quite a bit, but also just the songs in general. But I'm going to put that Slipknot song in there in terms of like.
Sure.
I don't feel qualified to weigh in on this, so I'm gonna follow your lead on this.
We're going with the Slipknot song for now, just because that was very prescient.
Yeah.
At the time, that was before Slipknot blew up.
I will say, I was enjoying a fair bit of the score, and I hadn't properly checked in advance, like who was behind it. And when I did see the credits on the music, my heart did sink a little.
Similarly, I was really enjoying the zombie noises, and
well, all of those,
credit where credit is due.
Yeah, but none of Marilyn Manson's zombie noises are in the movie. All right, most out of left field things so far. What is the most?
I'm going to say Matt the cop. Because it's so really weird that this guy crashes in and is like, I'm a cop.
It's hard for me to process any of this as out of left field because it seems like I've seen the movie too much.
Uh-huh.
It just feels normal
know too
to
much.
you.
It all feels right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a nominee for most out of left field thing, and it's James Purefoy's The Conversation.
Oh yes.
Because even knowing it was coming when they cut to it, I just like.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. Yes. Thing we most want to see resolved.
I guess if I'm thinking about it, I'm curious about Alice's whole deal prior to like the mind wipe. Like I'm, like how much of her past will be a thing. And I get to say this from my position of relative ignorance. But I guess I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is my 2026 brain working, but boy, howdy, I would like to see the Raccoon Corporation. No, why do I keep calling it that?
Because it's both ridiculous.
Boy, howdy, I would like to see the Umbrella Corporation just burned to the ground.
I, meanwhile, want an entire The Office-esque sitcom series set within the world of the Umbrella Corporation.
But I think you're just describing Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, I kind of just, it was a good movie, Cabin in the Woods. Let's just do that.
Yeah, well, fair enough, yes.
The last one, which, is silly because it's the first one, but best cliffhanger in the series. So we only have one cliffhanger right now, which is...
I think this one's the best.
Yes, so it is the wrap up right there. So
yes,
we're at wrap up.
Yeah,
that's been we managed to make it through every damn frame of the first Resident Evil movie. So final thoughts.
I have not a thought because I feel like we've talked this one pretty well. But I have a question.
Yeah, that works.
And I feel like this is a question that is familiar to film fans throughout the world. But I haven't seen it necessarily applied to this specific franchise, which is, do the hapless employees of the Umbrella Corporation at the beginning of the film who meet terrible ends get what they deserve for working for the Umbrella Corporation?
I feel like the opening crawl is very clear that they don't necessarily know what they're doing. And I think maybe that even applies to the ones working in the Hive, which feels insane to me. But maybe, like, the Office-esque sitcom that you're describing is these people that work at the Umbrella Corporation, and every once in a while they're like, Tom was in the copy room making copies of kill reports, and that's confusing to me. What's Tom up to?
It really does seem like there's an awful lot of people at the Umbrella Corporation who are just at the Umbrella Corporation, and but one of the rooms on this floor is the biolab.
It's like the Clamp building in Gremlins 2.
Yes.
It's like some people just work at the salad bar.
Fair enough. Okay, so that was my one big thought.
That's good. Yes. So will the employees of the Umbrella Corporation ever get wise to what the Umbrella Corporation's doing?
Yeah.
I think as the series goes on, if you are more and more ethically culpable if you continue to work for the Umbrella Corporation is where that lands. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay, so that's first episode of Every Damn Frame. And check out the movie if somehow all of this didn't fully satisfy you. And thanks for checking us out. And I would like to say that if you enjoyed this, you could leave us a review. You don't have to leave us a review. You could list the most Umbrella Corporation ass product that is in your actual home.
It's my wedding ring.
Asa, it would not shock me to learn that you had property of the Umbrella Corporation engraved inside your wedding ring.
Never ask Fran to check.
Fun reveal, Ace's wife has been listening to us with a 1970s eavesdropping ring this entire time.
Twist!
Okay, we'll see you guys next week, and we talk about.
Oh wait, well, we should go around and say if we plug what we want to plug. If we want to plug things, like where do people live on the social internets?
Literally just Blue Sky. I have an Instagram account that I do not use. I'm not good at plugging. Maybe I should get better. Join us next time to find out if Asa has gotten better at the social internets. Liz, what do you want to plug?
I write a newsletter called Stream On. You can find out more about it at consequence.net/stream-on. And you can find me on Blue Sky at lizshannonmiller.com. And you can find me on Letterboxd at Lizlet.
This is the year I'm going to join Letterboxd.
It's fun.
So tune in next time when I have a Letterboxd handle. But I'm Jesse V on Blue Sky, and things that you can check out right now when this is definitely airing. I write a serial on Royal Road called Dumpstat Everything, which I would encourage you to enjoy. Also, if you go to bookmedaddy.com, I know, the crowdfunding campaign for, the D&D sourcebook for the Dungeons and Daddies podcast, which I am a designer and writer on a lot of the modules for, is funding right now.
I guess I am Asa Tate at bluesky.gov or whatever the normal Blue Sky one is. If you don't have your own thing.
Bluesky.social.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have anything else to plug.
Okay, great. I'm also Jesse V at Umbrella.
At umbrellacorp.com.
Okay. All right. There we go. And that's it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Every Damn Frame is researched, produced, and edited by us, 3 adults with full-time jobs. You can find show notes, blog posts, and of course, every damn episode of Every Damn Frame on our website at everydamnframe.com. And please follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram at Every Damn Frame.